Hello listeners and viewers. Welcome to Kaduna State Ministry of Education Radio and TV e-learning program designed for our SS3 and other students staying at home due to the coronavirus pandemic. The present administration, under the able leadership of His Excellency, Malam Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai, is positioned, as always, to ensure that under his leadership, our students are not left behind in all areas of human endeavors, especially education. Kaduna State is the center of learning. Therefore, we want to ensure that our students excel in their forthcoming examinations and beyond. Students and other learners at home are given this opportunity in order to continue learning, as education is a continuous process. Different subjects will be taught in this program to assist students to perform excellently in the forthcoming Senior School Certificate examination being conducted by NECO and WAEC as soon as schools reopen. Teachers making presentations will always provide their names and phone numbers during each presentation, and they can be contacted for questions, further explanations, and/or clarifications. The following numbers and contacts can also be reached for expression of any concern or observation: 090-865-00545 or 080-383-62072. Our website is www.education.kdsg.gov.ng. Our email education@kdsg.gov.ng or education.kdsg@gmail.com. Our YouTube channel, Ministry of Education, Kaduna State. Our Twitter handle @Kaduna_MOE. Or our Facebook page, Ministry of Education, Kaduna State. Stay safe, stay at home, and learn well. Thank you, happy listening, and happy viewing.
Good day, our students and other learners. Welcome to another segment of the e-learning program organized by Kaduna State Ministry of Education. My name is Ibrahim Zakari, your history teacher. If you could remember, we have treated some powerful empires and large kingdoms. In the Central Sudan, in our previous lesson, we have treated the first Kanuri Empire and the second Kanuri Empire, known as Kanem Borno Empire. In the Guinea Forest, we have treated Oyo Empire and Benin Empire. Today, we are in the Niger-Benue confluence. When we say Niger-Benue confluence, we are referring to the meeting point where River Niger and River Benue meet. Around that area, there emerged a very powerful kingdom. That is our topic of discussion today, known as the Nupe Kingdom. Under Nupe Kingdom, we are going to look at the geographical position of that kingdom, a little about their historical origin, the economic life of the people. Lastly, we are going to look at the emergence of Tsoede, the founder of that great kingdom, and some of his achievements. Our students, who are these Nupe people? They are the dominant tribes that could be found in the present Niger State. They could also be found in Kwara State and part of Kogi State. According to Bajida tradition, the Nupe people have some distant kinship with the Hausas. If we say distant kinship, we mean they belong to the descendants of the second concubine known as Gwari, the concubine of Bajida. They were among the illegitimate or the Banzabakwai according to that tradition. There was no any historical record, be it oral tradition or written record, of the origin of the Nupe people. Some historians maintain that the Nupe people have not migrated from anywhere outside their land. If there was migration, it occurred within, not from without. Another important thing about the Nupe people, they have never ever claimed to be the descendants of one particular ancestor, as it was the case of the Yoruba people according to Odudua creation legend, that Odudua gave birth to them after his descendant from the sky. Or they were the byproduct. They have never ever claimed to be the byproduct of any intermarriage of two races or two tribes. They were not interbreed of two races or intermarriage of two races or two tribes, as it was the case of the Kanuri people. They claim to be the byproduct of intermarriage between the Zagawa people and the So people, or the mulatto of South Africa, who were the intermarriage, the interbreed of the intermarriage between the white settlers and the Bushmen or the Hottentots. Their main area of concentration lie to the south of the state of the Hausa Bakwai. From Hausa land, if you want to reach the forest zone, you have to pass across Nupe land. They had a wide fertile land with a number of rivers. This explains why it is people were fishermen and farmers. Also, wide range of crops were grown in that area. This include millet, guinea corn, cotton, groundnuts, banana. This helped the people or encourage the people to engage in trade of food crops with their neighbors. Apart from fishing and farming, the Nupe people also did considerable amount of iron works, work in brass, silver, and glass. The reason for that was that few of them invited professional blacksmiths, brass casters, and glass and silver manufacturers from Igala land to come and train his people when they have settled their political disputes amicably. Until the late 15th century, my student, as I have made mention in our previous lesson, whenever I mention a century like this, if I say 15th century, the dating should start with 1400 up to 1499. Don't start your dating, since I say 15th century, start your dating with 1500. If I say 18th century, start your dating from 1700 to 1799. So you should have to be well acquainted with datings in history. It's very important. Before the 15th century, The Nupe people were not a united people, but dwelt in 12 related, those separate groups. Let me explain this a little. They were not united people. They were independent of one another. This disunity was not as a result of rivalry or quarrel among themselves, but they felt independent. They didn't acknowledge the leadership of a single overlord to rule over the entire 12 or 13 mini states emerged in that area. It was not as a result of any dispute that they were not united. We say they dwelt in 12 related. What does that mean, related? Related means here they were sharing common culture. They speak the same language. And before the arrival of Christianity and Islam, they worship the same God. This foster unity and understanding among the Nupe people. Those separate, this separate means they were independent of one another. These groups, the 12 groups we have mentioned, readily cooperated with each other to resist attack from other ethnic groups, and for the purpose of defense came to acknowledge the political leadership of Unku. The leader of Unku was given a great task of mobilizing the entire troops of the Nupe people whenever any ethnic group attacked one of the independent mini-states of the Nupe people. They have to come out and fight a common enemy. But the leader of this Unku was not the overlordship of the entire Nupe people. The other rulers were not subordinate to him. This autonomous village or mini states included one Bida, Eda, Eku, Ewu, Doko, Gaba, Nupeko, Toagi, Yesa, Tapia, Fanjuru, Esa. There were 12 independent mini-states and the entire surrounding village. The Confederacy never recognized a single capital for long, since it was not a kingdom. It used to change from place to place. And that leadership was based on act of mobilization. Be our leader whenever we are facing a problem, mobilize our troops. That is your only task. It was in the 18th century Bida became the capital of the Nupe kingdom, when there was stability, when the kingdom was strongly established. The Nupe people before the 15th century, I said before 1400, Anno Domino, year AD 1400, before this century, the Nupes were tributary to the Ata of Igala, who controlled a large kingdom from his river-based capital at Ida. Ida was the capital of Igala land. The king was the Ata. This man exacted, if we say exacted, means he collected by force, by threat, You give me, there is no war. You fail to comply with my instruction, war is inevitable. So he exacted annual tribute of male slave from each Nupe family. At the end of the year, each Nupe family should send a single male slave as a tribute to the altar of Igala. Another thing, if we say family, we are not referring to husband, wife, and their children, but it means the clan. If we say family, for example, in Nupe land, if we have 10,000 households, how on earth the Nupe people should raise 1,000 male slaves and send them, who will control 10,000 slaves, down to Igala land about 300 kilometers away? Who will accommodate them? Who will feed them? But it's based on clan. Each clan, extended family, should send a single male slave as a tribute to the altar of Igala. The emergence of Tsoede. Tsoede was the founder of Nupe Kingdom. According to their tradition, he was the son of Igala prince residing in Nupe. As we have already heard, Nupe people were tributary to the altar of Igala. He controlled them economically and politically. Always, he must have a representative there. So he sent his eldest son to serve as a governor or representative in Nupe land, to act on his behalf. This Igala prince married a daughter of the chief of Unko. This lady gave birth to this very person known as Tsoede. But before he was born, the prince was recalled to Ida to become the new altar of Igala, since his father had died. So before his departure, the prince left 2 presents for his unborn child. He left her as a pregnant woman. So he left 2 presents. What were those presents? A charm, something with a magic power, a charm, and a distinctive ring. This distinctive ring was made specifically for members of the royal family of Igala. On no account should you wear that ring. No, you will be arrested and punished. So it was made for only members of the Igala royal family. Many years later, this gift enabled the Ata to identify his son. Tsoede was accompanied with other male slaves to Ida. He was sent there as a representative of Unku royal family. He was sent there by his mother deliberately in order to be identified by his father, since he wore the charm and that distinctive ring. The Ata kept him at his court and showed him every mark of favor. He brought him very close to him. Tsoede, on his part, rendered the Atta many valuable services. There was a time when his father was very sick. The native doctor instructed the Atta of Igala that one of his sons should climb a very tall palm tree and pluck a fruit. With that fruit, his illness will be cured. Tsoede Igala half-brothers refused to sacrifice their life to climb that tall palm tree. It was Tsoede who climbed the palm tree, though he fell and split his leaves, but he brought the fruit, and the illness of his father was cured. The Igala half-brothers of Tsoede were jealous of him. Why? Because his father brought him very close to him. Some people were even calling Tsoede as heir apparent. Heir apparent means the awaiting king, the successor. So they felt very jealous. For that reason, they plot to get rid of Tsoede. So when his father learned about their plot, he advised Tsoede to flee to Nupe and conferred the government of that area upon him. He said, okay, Tsoede, you should leave because of so reason. Go and govern that area on my behalf. From now on, you shouldn't send any tribute. You are an independent state from now on. So Tsoede left. Tsoede left Ida with a symbol of authority and royal rank, including bronze canoe. My student, you should avoid Nigerian pronunciation of this word, canoe. Don't say canoe. Bronze canoe. What is a bronze? Bronze is a mixture of copper and zinc. The liquid should be poured into a mold when it becomes hard. So it is a bronze casting. So this canoe was made up of a bronze, mainly for the members of the royal family of Ida. Beside a canoe, there was also a bronze ceremonial trumpet, a heavy chains, and fetters. So Tsoede narrowly escaped from the wrath of his half-brothers. He fell upon Nupe, one of the ministers there. He went there with a handful of men and made himself master of the town. And he conquered all the Nupe people through conviction, not through military confrontation. Let us look at some of his achievements. Number one, Tsoede built up a considerable forces of cavalry and united Nupe people. If we say cavalry, we are referring to forces who fought on a horseback. They are known as cavalry forces. Number two, he founded a strong kingdom and broke away from Igala domination. Number three, he led his army on a career of territorial expansion. To the south of River Niger, he subdued Yagba, Bunu, and Kakanda. To the north, he extended his authority over the Ebe, Kambari, and Kamuku tribes. He brought them under his own control politically and economically. He brought first blacksmiths, bronze casters, and glass manufacturers from Ida to train his people. He gained access to trans-Saharan trade routes. My student, I will wind up here. Before I go, I'll give you some assignment for you to attempt. Number 1, give an account of political background of the Nupe before the 15th century. Their political background. Number 2, narrate the emergence of Tsoede. Let me repeat. Give an account of the political background of the Nupe before the 15th century. Second, narrate the emergence of Tsoede. If you want to send any question or the attempted assignment, you can easily reach me through this number: 070 8420 3260. 070 8420 3260. My name is Ibrahim Zakaria. Stay home, stay safe, keep learning. Thank you.